Embrace Zindegi. I'm Shumi with Dr. Partha Pratim Bose. Today we bring to you the most pertinent topic in today's day and age, and that is spatial ergonomic. What is it? It sounds huge as a jargon, but it is nothing so vast. It is basically where we work, the workplace. Maybe after the COVID, it has shifted to our bedroom. And for children, it is the study room. So 24/7 we are here. How to energize this place, how to bring in your Vastu, how to bring in your Feng Shui. So Dr. Bose, please tell us, why should we know about it?
Friends, you understand that this is the place where you're working almost, you can say, 80% of your time. And let me tell you, if you divide the 24 hours in a day, 1/3 of the life we put into sleep, that is 8 hours gone.
Yeah.
That means that is 8 hours already you are at home.
Yeah.
Then you have the 16 hours.
Yeah.
Out of 16 hours, on an average, if you work about 8 to 10 hours, so that means you can say 16 hours in a day you're at home.
Absolutely.
So that
yes.
comes to almost your 80%.
Yeah.
So that means you're breathing in a confined space in 80% of the time. So
Yeah.
don't you think you should smell good, you should breathe good,
Yeah.
there should be an environmental wellness there.
Yeah.
How you breathe there, how you sit there, how you work there, what you eat, that should be very healthy and very relevant to your health, because ultimately this body which is performing 24/7 should feel good about it.
Absolutely.
And absolutely. And Shumi, as you rightly said, that this is the place we are connected to the world. So there are so many things, as we always say, that the five elements,
Yes.
Shumi, those five
Yeah.
elements, we
Yeah.
are all made of five elements: the ether, the sky, the
Water,
water, the fire,
fire,
and the earth. Like this, all these five elements. Rather, there are additional elements that should be there in your environment.
Yeah.
What do you say, Shumi?
And it's, sometimes we think Vastu Shastra is age old and, what can be done about it. But that tiny little things, the elements that matter in our life. For instance, having water. They say keep an aquarium. Where there is flow of water, you can see the fish. And when you take a look at the aquarium itself, doesn't it give you a very positive energy? And not only that, probably it brings you some kind of tranquility. That is so required. So
Absolutely, Shumi. The water is the most important, because if you see, like the planet, 80% of our body is the water. And let me tell you, the requirement of the water for the brain is almost 75%. 73 to 75% your brain requires of water. So if you are not adequately consuming water, and if you are not surrounded with water, you don't get that kind of wellness. And also, let me tell you, most of the enzymatic reactions in the body is water based. Our blood has got the 5 liters of volume. So what happens when you're working in a confined space? You're not sweating. So you don't feel like drinking water. So one of the most important, the ethereal element which we're talking about, your hydration.
Yes.
The hydration, the water, when as you say, that little aquarium that gives you wellness, that should be in your mind, that you should be drinking enough water. And in fact, in our previous podcast also we said that every individual should consume 35 ml per kg body weight.
So 3 bottles of water.
3 bottles of water, that means at least 3 liters of water you should be consuming. And when you were working on a workspace, you should keep a bottle at least.
And Partha, for me, for a layman, if I'm not hydrated, I don't think I can think properly.
Absolutely.
I mean, I kind of become very irritable, and I don't come across.
And another one thing I just want to add on here in the hydration part, because the skin is the largest surface area. When you're working in a confined space, you don't know how much you're sweating. So what happens in that process? You don't drink much of water. So you are into a kind of a dehydration mode. Your body goes into a concentration. When you are in a concentrated state of mind, you feel sluggish and you feel burnt out. And that's why I said that we are all going through a syndrome which we will talk about, burnt out stress syndrome. Be aware of boss. So, burnt out stress syndrome.
Be aware of boss.
Be aware of boss. So we will talk about the boss. So what is most important?
Okay, and then let's talk about the air in the environment. Right now, if you look at our studio, we have several elements here. We have the plants. We have some beautiful objects like this, the cup, which is so beautifully made. So it's aesthetically inspiring. And then the books, of course. And do make sure that you have lots of good books around you. to read good, to feel good, and the air around it makes it so
Absolutely, Shumi.
vibrant.
What happens, your space is fixed.
Yeah.
You cannot change the furnitures, they're fixed.
Yeah.
Only thing which you can change the colors, the aroma, the books, the fragrance, the environment. So create a little visual around you. That is the nature.
Yeah.
And you have to create an indoor nature around yourself, and that is a wellness. And also let me tell you, when we talk about the air quality, it is not only about your little aesthetics and the, when you have a very decluttered, you have to use, then what happens? You attract less dust.
Yes,
there's a flow of energy.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what you're doing, we need to breathe oxygen. And oxygen comes from there are so many other things in the environment. And let me tell you, dear friends, indoor is 10 times more polluted than outside, because you're breathing there, your carbon emission is there, then there is a combustion activities is going there, dust mites, molds, there are so many things, you're using certain aromatic fluids, so there is a lot of hydrocarbon emissions
baggage in the air.
Baggage in the air. So your air quality is stale. So you have to improve the quality of air, you have to improve the flow of the air, you have to you have to keep your environment so clean and effective so that there is no dust attraction.
So you're saying that there should be a constant air circulation. If you can keep your windows open, nothing like it, but it's summer, so keep your AC on, but air circulation has to be there in some way or the other to charge.
And absolutely, Vashumi, as you rightly said, the right air circulation, because at least in your workspace there should be 6 to 7 circulation of air. Now, how will you do it? We understand in the hospitals you have those different filters and all those. Very simple thing which I tell my audience is that when you get up in the morning, people think that no, we have to keep everything is in a very close and no. Open up the doors and the windows. 1 hour in the morning and 1 hour in the evening, you are supposed to open up your door and windows.
And not only that, move the curtains.
And also curtains
let
the sunlight. It has been found that when you are sitting next to a window, your the mental alertness goes up by 80%.
Absolutely.
So that means the air, the current get connected, create a little indoor flow of air, and also there are certain ways you can improve the indoor quality of air. There are 2 ways you can improve the airway quality, Shumi. One is that use certain indoor plants, as you mentioned.
Yes, right, absolutely. Indoor plants like this, and then you also have the ficus.
And there are few indoor plants which you can always keep it, because what happens, we human beings are emitting a lot of carbon.
Yes, right.
And the plants, they release a lot of oxygen. So if you have oxygen enriching indoor plants like ficus, like daisy, daisy dulls, then you can have money plants. You can have snake plants. You can have snake plants. Then you can have there are the little succulents which are there. Then there's so many things. In fact, one of the articles we shared to the our people, that green repellents, one of our articles, you can refer to that. So use plants, and that's very important. And secondly, please. Aroma is also important, but before we go to the aroma, the circulation of air, there are certain HEPA filters which is available, because if you have to work for long hours in closed space, you can use the HEPA filters, which is a very important purifiers but HEPA filters even. But as you rightly said, that we already discussed about the good aroma.
Aroma is very important.
Because once you are using a right kind of aroma, it improves your memory. As I told you, improves your visual memory, the limbic system, your visual memory, your emotion improves. So aroma is very important.
So what you really need to avoid, which I have seen people do, they eat on the bed at the same workspace as well. So do after you finish, do throw it off. Don't keep stale food on your work desk at all. It's a big no-no. It's not
absolutely, Shumi, as you rightly said. What I've seen in most of the closed space culture, they are ordering foods from the Zomato and everything. Those card boxes and all, they stay there. They stay. So see to it that it should be very clean.
It's not only children, it's also adults.
It's adults, See to it that you go very basics in your things. You have to keep it with, because if you keep that food, then it will attract a lot of other things, and at the same time it will change the aroma of the place, and you will not feel good. This is very important.
And it has a very negative influence, so don't do it.
It affects your emotional health. So this is very important, as you rightly said, that of course, a very important area, the right light.
Light, yes, of course.
Because if you see here, if you're now when
we well lit up,
well lit up,
it gives you a positive vibe.
Absolutely, and there are few things, Shumi, I want to tell you about the lighting part of it, use skylights so that it falls on your system. Instead of using backlights, which gives you a lot of shadowing, use skylights, number one. Secondly, try to use a lot of natural sunshine lights.
Natural lights should be
natural light. Natural light enhances your. Thirdly, what happens? Certain lights, which is, the flickering of lights, low intensity lights.
Yeah, you don't realize that, but that really affects you. And
affects you.
It creates mood swings.
And also, we will talk about this, a very important article, and also see that, the glasses which you're in, that should be anti-glare, because you're working on the screen. That is also have a magnetic radiation. So anti-glaring glasses which you are using it on the screen, which is very important. And of course, when we talk of lights, it also should be the lights which is, normally I say that, try, like for example, in our studio, you see we have a combination of yellow and white lights.
It shouldn't be glaring and hitting on your eyes.
It should be very soothing. You use more of yellow and white. It gives you a very peaceful, soothing effect. You feel very comforting. So that means light also, because if you use very strong lights and bulb lights, and now we have these LED and other technologies which has very low emissions, but they're very soothing lights.
And the next thing I want to talk about, very important to me, Partho, is music. Have some kind of very soothing, tranquil sound in the space. It could be a little flow of water, the sound of water flowing. It can, you can buy those little devices, or as I said, aquarium, but sound, even music, sometimes
absolutely
soft, very soft, therapeutic music.
Absolutely, Shumi. Absolutely what you said is very relevant, because what happens, music is your ultimate wellness, that creates your holistic harmony. And what happened, whatever the music which we are talking about, they all originated from the nature.
Yes.
So the chirping of the words, little flowing of the water, little music around the background. And even if you use a little instrument which is going very soothing way, even if you have seen our own podcast shows, in our most of the audio video, we put a little music, calm music.
Absolutely.
That enhances your mood, that makes you feel good, that makes you much more focused and
when you're coming across the other people who are watching you also, it reverberates your personality, doesn't it? What your environment, your surrounding, actually that's what you're going to reach out with.
Absolutely. Then of course, one more area which everybody ignores is your fitness. Now what happens in the fitness, before we go to the posture, I'm talking about your own fitness. Now what happens when you're sitting for long hours in your monitor, you're stuck up there. So that means there is a pressure atrophy, the circulation there's a stasis in the leg veins, because normally our circulation of the lower legs are low pressure. The valves go weak, you get swelling of the legs. Then then you sweat at in difficult areas. Then when you're sitting for long hours, your eye strain, back strain. So there are certain rules you have to follow.
Certain exercises.
Very
specific.
So few exercises I can think of, like always you make your workstation a little make a little exercise space. Very simple. You can install a treadmill, which can give you. You can keep a bicycling, which is affordable. You can, and the best part of the treadmill is that you can fold it up also.
And not only that, you can use your chair as well. There's so many exercises
which you can there.
Where you use your
breathing
chair.
exercise. We will have one detailed podcast on breath work. You can have breathing exercise like the diaphragmatic exercise, Bhastrika, Kapalbhati, Anulom Vilom, which gives you wellness. Then of course, is simple TheraBand, resistive bands. If you have,
absolutely.
With resistive bands, you can stretch all the muscles, all the skeletal, so that you don't feel tense, you don't feel very cluttered. So and normally after 40-50 minutes of working on your monitor, you should leave your chair, go for a little walk, come back. Otherwise, your circulation gets little stasis.
And thakna
mana hai, because agar aap thak jaoge,
so you have to keep yourself energized, as he said. You won't believe, at this age I went to Decathlon, I bought those stretch, the belts, and you can do it during working. You can keep stretching even on your knees. It keeps your knees healthy. It keeps yourself happy.
And दोस्तों मैं कहता हूँ कि जैसे मैंने पहले भी बोला है, जीवन का मतलब ये नहीं है कि adding years to life. It is adding life to
years.
So आपको जीवन के अंदर वो energy होनी चाहिए, वो enthu होनी चाहिए. वो ऐड करिए, तभी वो मजा आएगा उस वर्क स्पेस में काम करने का. सो एक्सरसाइज करना बहुत जरूरी है, बी इनोवेटिव, और बहुत सारी चीजें आप कर सकते हैं.
And what kind of food should we have? We have a very sedentary lifestyle.
Nutrition is very important, because what happens, I've seen. What is your experience of the food which is the youngsters are using it? Don't
Actually,
you think that?
Since we shifted home and We remember for those days when we didn't have any help at home, we kept on ordering for food, and that habit persisted. Even now, people do that all the time. Youngsters, especially, even adults, people in their 30s to 40s, they don't feel like cooking at home, so they're ordering for food, and this is where the problem comes in. Health issues, obesity, yeah,
Absolutely,
and sugar.
absolutely. If you see in my COVID days experience, you won't
Yeah.
believe, I have found youngsters in 30s, 40s, they're much more sick than elderly people
They put on a lot of
because
weight.
obesity,
Yeah.
then simple sugars.
Mm.
And I've seen their emotional health is so poor.
Yeah.
And one
That
thing
affects your
if you-
emotional
because
health.
what happens,
Yeah.
even we are also working from the closed space for you, but don't you think we have created an aesthetic around you? We have created to keep fitness. Why you take all those junk foods which are not healthy? There are a lot of saturated fat, a lot of coloring agents. So one thing what I can show is that you need nutrition because of the wellness of the body. You need nutrition for the optimum metabolism. Go for fruits, nuts and seeds and
Absolutely.
vegetables. You can make awesome combinations.
Absolutely. Just make a nice wholesome salad for yourself.
And I tell you, instead of going for the sugary drinks, Shumi,
Yeah.
as we mentioned in our fruit podcast, that fruit
And
gives you
juices.
fructose.
Yeah.
And it is fiber. It has all the nutrients. It has got all the what you call pigments which enhances your metabolism.
Yeah.
And if you add bit of seeds and nuts, it has good
Absolutely.
oils. It is
Yeah.
not saturated, it is unsaturated
Yeah.
oil.
Yeah.
So you add little pistachio, you add almonds, you add little walnuts in your fruits, put some
And
yogurt,
Yogurt. Yes.
and add some, these veggies like for example tomato, which is rich in lycopene,
Yeah. Yeah.
carrot, which is rich in beta carotene, which is good for eyes because
Yeah.
carotene looks
Yeah.
like an eye,
Yeah.
and also beet, which is pigmented. You can
And,
mix up all this, toss it out with little dash of lemon and little rock salt. It's an awesome.
And I'm quite a
Snacking.
tea addict, I'm quite a tea addict, and I don't apologize for this. But how to make that tea? Have aromatic tea. Do not have so much of milk and sugar. Cut down on it. You can keep having this lemon tea, which you can make at
And
home.
always I say that, unless and until, just Shumi, I told you, unless and until you're aromatic. Like I told you the story.
Yeah.
There are three types of
Absolutely.
individuals.
Yeah.
First, individuals are like a little, those aloo or what we call the potato.
The
They are very rough and very
Yeah.
serious from inside and outside.
Yeah.
When the boiling environment comes, when the
Yeah.
performance comes, they mellow down.
Yeah.
So everybody loves the boiled potato,
So
hashed
keep
potato.
your wits up.
Bits up. And or the second category of people are little like egg. They are strong from outside and weak from. They get, when they boil up, you become a very tasty. But
That's-
be like a fragrant tea or a coffee.
Absolutely.
In boiling on a difficult environment, you become fragrant. So
Yeah.
as Shumi said, use tea to enhance your fragrance, enhance your metabolism.
Yeah.
And there are so many good teas, and never add, because tea is not for milk and sugar. It is a fragrant drink. It is an aromatic drink.
Any drink.
It is an aromatic drink. So instead of excessive coffee, go for tea. Tea is much more, and tea is full of
Healthy.
antioxidants and healthy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you spread
Use
the
natural flowers. Use natural lemongrass.
Yeah.
Hibiscus, rose. Use that for tea. Use peels like orange and lemon. Fill it up and drink it just like every few hours you can have some. But it'll keep you healthy and it
Absolutely.
full of aroma.
So the friends we discuss about here, we discuss about the music, we discuss about the plants, we discuss about the aesthetics, we discuss about the cleanliness, we discuss about the food, we discuss about exercise, we discuss about nutrition. But the most important thing which we are going to discuss, Shumi, what we are talking about, your posture,
Your posture.
how you sit,
Yeah.
and how you talk, and what is your contact with the computer. So don't you think this is very important, Shumi?
It's extremely important, and all of us, we want to look good, isn't it? And we don't look good, we reach out to people very positively. So the way you sit, the sitting posture, don't slouch like this, or keep your head up, shoulder up, back straight, and that's what we practice. every
Shumi, I
day.
just want to show
Yeah.
you a photograph. I tell you,
Yeah.
which one want to be like this? Do you
Yeah.
want to be, look friends, do you want to be like this? I just show you. So
Yeah.
as she said that, which is the one we should.
It's very important that you keep your back posture straight, backbone straight, and your head straight, so that there is air circulation, there is
You
blood
see,
circulation.
the audience I'm showing you.
Yeah.
On the first, show me, explain.
Yeah, the
Which
first one, the woman is quite slouched. If you can, if
you see the back.
The
back is bad. When your back is bad,
Yes.
you are strained, your neck muscles hurt, you breathe less,
And-
your ventilation, and also you see she's coming too forward.
Yeah.
She's so tense. Ideal position should be something on the
other one,
other one.
the right
Back
one,
straight.
yeah.
And if you see the knee and the lower limbs, there's a 90 degree
angle.
right angle.
Yeah.
Even you see the heel area and the flat area, there is a 90 degree at both the levels.
Absolutely.
And also this lady is sitting at a certain angle on the back which is around 135 degree. So you should have a tall chair which covers your neck and follow this rule of 90.
And also, you keep a table stand where you don't have to bend. The laptop is much closer to you and in a slanted
and definitely you can
this
always
is the angle.
This is the
actually.
angle you should follow. This is the table raiser are available. In fact,
Yeah.
in our table we also have a this kind of table raiser which you can all have it. But this is very important that we should have the right posture. The moment you're like slouching, it makes you stiff.
Yeah.
It makes you very it makes you very tense.
Yeah.
And the most important, you breathe less.
Yes.
You become your breath quality becomes weak, so your performance. So if you really want to enhance your performance, look at me. You have to sit straight.
Back
You have to
straight.
be your back straight.
And your
This
head
and that.
straight.
This see the knee and this joint should be 90 degree.
Yeah.
And you see when we are sitting straight, how confident we are looking.
Absolutely.
Have you ever
come
seen
across
us?
a very
We are
confident
slouching.
people.
Look, when I slouch, I look so less confident.
Yeah.
When I'm straight, I'm so positive. Don't you
Yes.
think, Shumi?
Yes, absolutely.
So it is your habit, as we call it. How you conduct yourself. Your mannerism talks about your posture. If your posture is good, you will conduct your interactions also better.
Interactions.
You will be more positive. Your productivity also will improve.
Yeah.
So this is a science we are talking a lot about. It's called ergonomics. How you
Absolutely.
connect this different architectural concept aesthetically
together.
taking care of your mind, body, and breath.
And in Japanese Feng Shui, they talk about a beautiful concept, and that is the yin and the yang. Yin is the flowing, beautiful, soft, rippling force, and yang is the straight with lot of strength. And where they meet is a beautiful, confluence of two energy, yin and yang, and it's called the chi.
Oh, wonderful.
So in this chi, in this area, this specific area, that's where all the positive work happens. In fact, there is creation. So why not bring that into our workspace? And I always have a little bit of water, a flower arrangement. Where do you have a little bit of water, and then you have this, the plants or the sticks
Absolutely.
or the tuberoses coming up from the, from the platter. And it looks beautiful. It gives you a very lot of aesthetic, it energizes you. So why not have that?
Absolutely, this Feng Shui, this small. In fact, this is a Vastu. This is a Vastu.
Absolutely.
What is Vastu? You should feel good where you're working.
Yeah.
You should smell good. You should have minimum noise.
Good visuals.
Good visuals. You see good. You talk good. You look good. You feel good. So that is what is ergonomics. So why are we not be doing it?
Spatial Ergonomics.
Tell me, why are we doing it? Why we are ordering all those cardboard boxes from the Zomato? Why we are
It's
sitting
not
on the bed
habit.
and working like this?
Yeah.
Why we are keeping our laptop like this?
Yeah.
What is the temperature of a laptop or an iPad? It is so high. That is affecting your sexuality also. When you are
Yeah.
using
It's
high,
slowing down your
you're slowing down your
response.
metabolism,
Yeah.
your sexuality, your virility. So you have to be very conscious what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, now since you're working at the closed space, with due respect to the employers, they are at a advantage mode.
Absolutely.
So you have to be very careful.
Yeah.
Because ultimately what we read, healthy, wealthy and wise.
Yeah.
Nobody will tell you healthy, wealthy and intelligent.
Yeah.
You have to be wise. Don't you think, Shumi?
So do go out. For instance, like, if you talk to the elders, why do they go out? They don't do net shopping. They don't do virtual shopping. They want to talk to people. They want to go to the bank. They want to go to the post office. So please, every day, go out of your workspace for a little while. Walk for about, every half an hour. Walk for about 10 minutes. Come back and get into your work again.
And the most important, as he rightly said, that little disconnecting from the spaces,
Yes.
because that gives you a wellness. Even we also doctors, we are running our evening centers, morning centers, but little activity, we keep on changing
Yeah.
our portions. We go
That
out
charges
inside.
your
That charges your metabolism. And
Yeah.
also when you go out, you get connected to the nature. You see people. You see what is the hustle bustle around you. Maybe you talk to people.
Yeah.
Because talking, this is one thing. Because in a closed space, you're not talking. You're talking to yourself.
Your
so
social
talk therapy
communication
is also very
as
important.
well.
Though in this wellness, series, we are talking about environment wellness. We'll take you to different level of wellness, but this little workspace communication is very important.
Yeah.
Even if you are not in a position to go out, at least you make a little corner where you can talk to your family, the children, the friends.
Yes.
That talking is very important.
People, very, very important, friends, that keep your spatial ergonomics very healthy, keep your workspace very healthy. Put a little bit of agarbatti sometimes, a little diya, that will help you, energize you spiritually. It is important to have a very holistic place when you are coming out as a personality, as you want to reach out to people very positively. And look at Partha and I think we love this workspace of ours, and we believe in Sai, so a little photograph of Sai Baba as well. And the books positively charge us. We have little figurines here, and we are sitting straight. Please do sit straight.
And also, refer to our previous podcast. We spoke about aroma. We've been talking new things. Unless and until you go through our previous podcast, you will not able to collect, because everything we are talking about, because ultimately we want you in totality. We are talking about holistic harmony. We are talking about a journey from illness to total wellness. So start from your environment wellness and feel good.
And stay connected. Do write to us. Do put in your comments.
And subscribe our channel. And if you like this kind of our initiatives, share with your friends and your ones.
Let us know.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you
care.
so much.
Regards.
Take care. Stay healthy.